Hello and welcome to this first lecture on safety and compliance in this course, Master in Construction Management. So, this section we will give you a good view of safety and compliance that is required in excellent construction management. And one of the things is to prioritize worker safety through rigorous training and equipment protocols, and we will talk about that as we go forward. So, what do you think? What are the things that you need to look into for doing a good work or great work on safety and compliance? So, first, obviously, is to prioritize worker safety through rigorous training and equipment protocols, and for which we will talk about in rest of this lecture. Second thing, what you need to do is to adhere to local, national, and international regulations. So there are regulations at all these three levels. You need to stick to them. And third is that you can help you do this excellent work is to maintain certifications and implement industry best practices because then you'll be on the leading edge of safety and compliance. So let's take a look at how to prioritize safety through rigorous training and equipment protocols. So how do you think you can do that? See, this whole affair of prioritizing worker safety requires comprehensive approach, right? That combines three things: rigorous training, robust equipment protocols, and a proactive safety culture of most important. In everything you do, you must also consider safety, and that should stand out first if there are, priorities to be made. Now, how to implement such an effective strategy of prioritizing worker safety? Let us take a look at that. So first, obviously, as I was saying, is to establish a strong safety culture. Now, what are the things that are needed to be done to establish such a safety culture, strong safety culture? It starts with leadership commitment. The top management needs to demonstrate the safety commitment by incorporating as its core value. So leadership needs to say we commit to safety, right? Then the second piece obviously are the workers' involvement. You need to encourage workers to participate in safety planning and decision making so that they can actually implement the safety protocols and practices that you decide. And third is to continuous reinforcement by regularly emphasizing the importance of safety through meetings, posters, and communication. So these are the three things that you need to do to establish a strong safety culture. Then you need to develop comprehensive training programs. Now, what are the parts of such a training program? It could start with an orientation training where you provide new workers with a detailed safety orientation that includes workplace hazards and emergency procedures. Then you could train workers on specific risk and safety protocols for their specific roles, task specific training, and then schedule periodic training sessions to update employees on new regulations or procedures. Conduct drills for fire, chemical spills, natural disaster, and other potential emergencies, and use simulation or an on-site demonstration to teach safe equipment usage and hazard management. So you need to develop these comprehensive training programs. Then you implement robust equipment protocols. And how can you do that? You need to do regular inspections in which you need to perform frequent inspection of tools, machinery, and personal protective equipments. And there you need to use checklists to ensure all equipments meet safety standards. Then you need to establish routine maintenance schedules to keep equipment in good condition, in optimal condition from a performance and safety point of view. And then invest in advanced safety features for machinery like sensors, auto shut-off systems, etc., etc. And ensure that the tools and equipments are stored safely to prevent accidents. So proper storage is also one of the important things. Then you need to provide adequate personal protective equipment. You need to assess the needs of PPE based on the specific job hazards like helmets, gloves, goggles, and respirators. Then ensure all PPE complies with the relevant safety regulation and provide PPE that fits workers correctly to encourage consistent usage, because that could be one of the obstacles in PPE getting used. And teach workers how to wear, use, and maintain their PPE effectively. So that's how you can provide adequate PPE, protective, personal protective equipments. Conduct regular risk assessments. And what are the things that you need to do? You need to first identify hazards, use job safety analysis to or hazard identification tools to pinpoint risk, then assess the likelihood and impact of each hazard, evaluate such risk levels, and then apply the hierarchy of controls that I will take you through now to implement these controls. Now, in hierarchy of controls, you can begin by elimination by removing hazards entirely so that the problem doesn't exist, the potential problem doesn't exist at all. Or you can replace hazardous materials or methods with safer ones, or use barriers or modification to reduce exposure, or adjust work practices or schedules to minimize this. And as a last resort, serve as a last line of defense, provide the personal protective equipment. Monitor and enforce safety compliance, and a few things you can do here. One is to conduct regular audits to ensure adherence to safety protocol. Then implement behavioral observation programs to identify unsafe practices. Encourage workers to report unsafe conditions or incidents without fear or reprisal, right? So these are the things that you need to do. And lastly, enforce safety rules consistently to deter non-compliance. So that's how you can monitor and enforce safety compliance. Leverage technology for and to enhance safety. And there you can use things like wearable devices, use them to monitor workers' health, fatigue, temperature, and alert them to hazards. Track training, inspection, and incident reports in a centralized system in a safety management software. And drones and robotics are another things to use where those you can use for site inspection and robotics in for tasks in hazardous areas. So leverage technology for enhanced safety. Foster open communication by holding regular meetings to discuss safety concerns and share updates. Provide channels like suggestion boxes, digital forms for workers to share safety improvement ideas and share safety performance metrics with employees to build trust and accountability. Prepare for emergencies, develop detailed and response plan for potential crisis. You access, you ensure that fire extinguishers, first aid kits, and other emergency tools are readily available. Uh, and train designated workers in first aid and emergency responses. So prepare for emergencies like this. Recognize and reward safe practices. And what are the things that you can do there? You can reward teams or or individuals who demonstrate exemplary safe practices, set up such incentive program, celebrate milestones like achieving accident-free days to motivate workers, and publicly recognize safety champions to reinforce positive behavior. This is an example that you see here of a prioritizing worker safety. Now, what are the things that you can do? You can develop training materials and protocols during the preparation phase, and that can help your workers understand safety requirements. Distribute PPE and conduct training in implementation phase of the project, and that will reduce the risk of accidents. Perform audits and risk assessment during the monitoring phase of the project, construction project, and that can help you identify and address the safety gaps and recognize compliance and gather inputs in the feedback and reward stage for continuous improvement in safety culture. So let's take a look at a case study. In this case study, it's a case of a large-scale construction project, and where the challenge was high incidences and instances of equipment-related injuries. Now, what did the team do? They looked at solutions like implementing mandatory equipment training, introducing wearable safety devices to monitor worker fatigue, and conducted weekly inspection of all machinery. And as a result of that, they reduced equipment related incidents by 40% within 6 months. So, by following the strategies that we have outlined in this lecture, you can create a safer work environment, reduce accidents, and boost workers' morale and productivity. So, what do we do next after having looked at how to prioritize worker safety? We will look at how to adhere to the three levels of regulation: local, national, and international. Thank you so much for watching this first lecture on safety and compliance in this course, Master in Construction Management. I hope you're continuing to learn new things, continuing to enjoy, and I do look forward to see you again in the next lecture. Please feel free to message me if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer your questions, and do download the PDF file to take a look at anything you need to.